catch yourself saying sorry for things that didn't even need an apology to begin with? Like, sorry for the delay when you were literally responding within 10 minutes. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 simple swaps that'll help you stop shrinking your confidence at work and see what you really mean without the guilt. Hi there. If you're new here, my name is Corey Logaitis, otherwise known as Corey Low. I am a professional keynote speaker, high performance coach, and forthcoming author of the book, The 5 Overwhelm Culprits. And I help high performers, especially women, stop over apologizing and start communicating with confidence. When I work with clients, we don't just erase empathy, we replace unnecessary apologies with clear, confident language. Here's how you can start doing that right now. Because it's not super efficient to rely on fixed scripts, we're going to frame these as patterns and principles with examples. So each one I share is going to include the over apology pattern, what's really being communicated, and from there, a power reframe that preserves empathy while also projecting authority. So phrase number 1, sorry for the delay. This is going to become, thanks for your patience. So you're going to start off by swapping apologies for appreciation. This works beautifully because you're acknowledging the other person without assuming that you did anything wrong. Phrase number 2 is, sorry, can I add something? To instead, I'd like to build on that. So here's the problem. Apologizing before speaking signals that you don't deserve the floor. It makes other people second guess whether or not you should even be having input on whatever the conversation is. So instead, try the phrase, I'd like to build on that, or let me offer another perspective. This ultimately positions you as a contributor and not as an interrupter. So it's a win-win for everybody. Phase number 3, sorry if that's a dumb question, to, here's something I'm curious about. Here's the problem. You're not dumb. You're engaged. Curiosity is actually confidence. So by replacing the phrase that's filled with self-doubt with curiosity-forward language, you're ultimately demonstrating for people that your question is rooted in curiosity and wanting to engage and further the conversation, and not in that you've had any kind of issues processing what was positioned before it. Phrase number 4, sorry I missed that meeting, can be repositioned to, I'll catch up on the notes and I'll follow up if I have any questions. It's so important to know that accountability doesn't require any sort of apology. The next clear action and communicating what that action is builds far more trust than a simple, I'm sorry, just for the sake of saying. Phrase number 5, sorry, I just wanted to, we're going to reframe that to, I wanted to, or here's what I need. Anytime you throw the word just into a statement, it minimizes your request. So let's just drop it altogether. You don't need permission to communicate and be a part of the conversation. Phrase number 6, sorry for venting. We're going to, again, reframe that with appreciation and say, thank you for listening. Especially in terms of peer or team relationships, gratitude is always going to help keep things relational instead of apologetic. And last but not least, phrase 7, sorry, but we're going to shift that to, here's my perspective. Anytime you start anything off with sorry, but, it softens whatever follows that statement and undermines your message. So own your viewpoint. There's no need to apologize for having one. So in summary, the goal isn't to delete sorry out of your vocabulary altogether. I mean, truth was, I did a reel on this, and on LinkedIn, it went viral because so many people were saying, Corey, leaders need to be able to apologize when apologies are due. And of course, like, no one is arguing that. Sorry definitely deserves a place in our vocabulary, but sorry should not be our default anytime that we show up to something where an apology isn't necessarily needed, because it ends up undermining our authority, and we can't show up and communicate as confident leaders if we are apologizing every other word. So it's about using sorry when it is appropriate, like when you've truly made a mistake or you've caused somebody harm, not just as a default reflex to shrink your authority because you don't believe that you belong in the room. So I'd love to know, what is one phrase that you notice yourself apologizing for the most? Go ahead, drop it in the comments, send me a DM. I'm most active on LinkedIn, and I'll reply with a power reframe that you can start using instead. And if you want to go deeper on this kind of confidence work, this is a huge part of the work that I do in both my coaching as well as my speaking engagements. So I help high performing professionals, especially women, communicate with clarity and authority, whether that's in meetings, on the stage, or in everyday conversations. You can learn more about coaching or bringing this topic to your team through the links in the show notes below. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you found this valuable. If you would like to see a spin-off on this topic or have an additional question related to it, this has been a really hot topic. I've gotten so much feedback in the comments on LinkedIn on this. Definitely go ahead, comment, send me a DM, send my team an email. We would love to hear where you would like us to take this topic so I could create future videos just like this for you. So hopefully you found this valuable, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. I'll see you there.
Thanks for checking out The Next Step with Corey Lowe. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend, subscribe, and leave a review. Together, we'll transform overwhelm into action, and we'll keep taking the next step towards confident leadership. See you next time.